The law of cosines can be derived again by looking at the generic non-right triangle and dropping down a height and labeling it as h. Now, when you do so, you can use the Pythagorean theorem on the left side and the right side. So your two equations are going to be x squared plus h squared equals c squared, and the second one is b minus x quantity squared plus h squared equals a squared. When you expand this and solve for h squared, what you're going to do is subtract b minus x squared from both sides. And therefore, your h squared equals this. And if you solve for h squared here, you're going to get c squared minus x squared. Now, I can do the same thing as what I did with the law of sines and do a substitution right in for your h squared at this point. And therefore, when you substitute in, you're going to get a squared minus, and I also expanded this at the same time, equals c squared minus x squared. When you distribute that negative sign through, you're going to have a minus x squared on this side and that side. So therefore, if you add x squared to both sides, they are going to cancel. And therefore, you're left with something that looks like this. Now, reorganizing the terms a little bit, I'm going to say a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2b. And that x there can be solved for by looking at the cosine of that angle A, which is x over c. So I can now write that x as c cosine A. And that's going to be the law of cosines. So I just wanted to show you that it is possible to get the law of cosines. And now we're going to use that on these cases. Again, on the law of cosines, you have two cases that you can use them with: side, 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 and side angle side. There is no ambiguous case. So what you get for an answer is all that you have to know. The first case is you have three sides, so the question is, how do you get a particular angle? You're always going to want to start with the biggest angle, and then you can use the law of sines to get the other angles without having to worry about the ambiguous case. So when you have the biggest angle, it's opposite the biggest side, you're going to write down c squared equals a squared plus b squared. That'd be a 12 minus 2 times 20 times 12 cosine of the angle C. So now you want to actually solve for this. And when you solve for this, you can get your C, which is approximately a certain answer. Also, here's a case where you have a side angle side case. This is side, side, side. This is side angle side. And you can do the same idea to get your B. So it's B squared equals C squared plus A squared minus 2 times C times A times the cosine of 100. And be very careful to make sure you remember to take the square root after you're done. So you're going to have b squared equals this, and then you're going to have to take the square root of both sides and only take the positive case when you get there. That will give you the third side, and then on both of these cases, you can use the law of sines after you are done with the law of cosines to get the missing parts.